Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestling's Way and to another edition of Raw out of 10. And yeah, we actually got a really good Raw this week. I'm not going to go, I'll go into all of the details later of course. But yeah, it was kind of like a Randy Orton 20th anniversary celebration. Obviously he deserves that massively. And some other big matches on there like Bianca versus Sonya as well. So let's get straight into it. Riddle kicked off Raw and called out Randy to celebrate his 20th anniversary. Most of the locker room came out to congratulate Orton, who steps in the ring to celebrate. Riddle said there was a special guest and called out Cody Rhodes, who obviously has a long history with Orton. Rhodes came out and shook hands with the Viper before Seth Rollins showed up on the outset and said that no one should trust the American Nightmare. Ezekiel then came out to join them for some reason, so did Rollins, Kevin Owens and the Usos. The ring was getting crowded. Alex Pierce walked out to split the main event, an 8-man tag team match, and you can probably guess who's on what team. And yeah, Orton took KO out with an RKO before the heels retreated. But yeah, this was just a nice start to Raw, celebrating Randy Orton. Obviously set up the main event for Raw later. Good stuff. Before we got Bianca versus Sonya for it. Bianca was in control of the match early on and sent Sonya outside the ring. Deville then dragged Belair outside and ended up being tossed over the announcers before the backstage official was counted out. Deville grabbed the mic and declared that the match would be restarted, but as a no count out match. The match was restarted and Bianca used her hair to attack Deville, who brought out a steel chair and beat the champion, with it earning a disqualification. Deville then got on the mic again and restarted it once more in an ODQ match. Vega and Carmella rushed the ring and attacked Belair, taking her out before Deville sent the champion into turnbuckles. She got a DDT on top of the chair before trying to send Belair through the steel chair in the ring. Belair fought out of the move and took down Carmella and Vega before hitting a KOD on Sonya for the victory. Yeah, gets 7 out of 10 from me. Really put over Bianca and still leaves room for the story. Backstage, Sonya was furious and told Zelina and Carmella that because they failed to secure the title, they would not get the tag team match they wanted. Vega and Carmella argued with Deville, but she slapped the two of them before threatening the WWE official. Edge and Damian Priest were then backstage and said the Archer of Infinity would take care of unfinished business tonight by beating Balor. Edge also claimed that they were better than The Undertaker before telling AJ Styles to stay at home. And then we got Veer Mahan versus Sam Smothers, basically a jobber. And yeah, he took $1 million arm in a corner before being hit with a double stomp. Mahan then locks in a cervical clutch to pick up the win. After the match, he sent Smothers into the corner before locking the cervical clutch once more on the outside. Mahan then powerbombed the poor guy on the announce desk and then locked in a cervical clutch to come on top of it before it was done. And yeah, another good outing for Omos. Get the 6 out of 10 from me. Just a classic squash match, and good to see they haven't ruined him yet. The arm wrestling match between Omos and Lashley was up next. MVP was on the mic and trash talked Lashley as the former champion gained the advantage and eventually took Omos down. Omos attacked Lashley after the match and sent him headfirst into the arm wrestling table before taking him down with a huge clothesline. MVP then ordered Omos to crush Lashley with a table and the big guy proceeded to do it just before they were done. I mean, yeah, classic arm wrestling match. The good guy gets away and the bad guy destroys him after. I can't tell I was a massive fan of this. I generally aren't of arm wrestling contests, really, but I mean, it always gets numbers on YouTube, and it's two big beefy guys, so you know, it was kind of probably inevitable that WWE were going to do it at some point. It wasn't really for me, but yeah, I know it would be very popular, so yeah, understandable why they did it. Before we got Dana Brooke and Reggie versus Tamina and Akira Tozawa. Earlier in the night, Truth set up a mixed tag team match between them. Truth was guest referee, and the guys started the match before the tags were made, and there was some tension between Tamina and Brooke. Tozawa tagged back in and hit a top rope senton on Reggie before picking up the win. After the match, Tamina and Tozawa tried to pin Brooke, but Truth wiped them out before managing to try to pin Brooke himself, but she ran away backstage. I mean, like, yeah, this gets a 5 out of 10 from me, to be honest. I mean, like, it's such a stacked draw, and then you just had all of this 24/7 bollocks. I was hoping last week the wedding would be the end of it. But clearly I'm wrong. Yeah, they don't need a match, just do some backstage skit really, because yeah, this was just kind of out of place in such a good Raw. Before we got Becky Lynch, who was out next, and said that she had forgotten what it was like to not be champion. Lynch said that she was getting ready for her comeback, and once she was on top, no one would be able to stop her. Asuka made a return and stepped into the ring before saying that she will be the one to stop Big Time Beck. So Lata tried to attack her, but Asuka countered. Lynch retreated backstage. Yeah, this was really great. So great to see Becky and Asuka back together in the same ring, especially Asuka. She's been gone for such a while, but yeah, the Raw Women's Division's really missed her, and it's so great to see her back. And yeah, this is looking like a big feud to introduce her or reintroduce her back, and hopefully we've got Bayley back soon, and then yeah, the Women's Division is looking stacked again. But yeah, the main takeaway from this is obviously just how brilliant it is to have Asuka back. Before we got Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Priest was sent outside earlier on, and he dragged Balor out and dropped him on the apron with a razor's edge. Back after the break, Balor was almost caught in a chokeslam but managed to reverse it. Balor went went then up to the top rope for the coup de grace, but Priest caught him with a chokeslam. He followed it up with a modified reverse STI and picked up the W. Yeah, this was dominant from Damien Priest. Really good outing for him, and it seems like he's getting a bit of a push, which is really great, of course. So yeah, gets a 7 out of 10 from me. But yeah, I kind of just do feel a bit bad for Balor. He seems to get jobbed out, and all of those grand plans when he made his return from NXT. I don't want to say it like this, but I don't think I can really say it other way. That's all turned out to be bullshit, really, hasn't it? But yeah, on the whole, good win for Priest. Good match, obviously, of course it was between these two, but I just feel a bit sorry for Balor. But anyway, The Miz was out next and called out Theory, the new US champion, to join him on Miz TV. The two got some banter, and Miz was very supportive of the young star. He gave Theory some advice before Mustafa Ali made his return. The Miz and Theory made fun of Ali before the returning superstar fired back and tried to get US title match tonight. Theory told him no before Ali called him spineless. Ali taunted to, and Theory secured a match between The Miz and Ali by texting Mr. McMahon in the ring. The Miz had the early advantage and got a nearly head fall before locking in a headlock. Mustafa Ali got out of the hole but took some big kicks before the A-lister got another near fall. Ali was being beaten up in the corner, but he came back with some strikes before being sent into turnbuckles. Ali dodged a kick to the head before countering a spinning kick of his own before getting a rolling neck breaker for the 2 count. The Miz then hit Ali with a low drop kick, but the pin was reversed and the latter picked up the win. After the match, Ciampa came out and wiped out Ali before Raw continued, and all the way through this was just really great. Ali making his return, I mean, I didn't expect it after everything we've heard recently, but it's so great to see Ali back. He's just such a great performer in the ring. So absolutely delighted about that. Ciampa as a heel, that'll suit him on the main roster. Hopefully he gets a bit of a run. And doing stuff for the US title. On the whole, this is a really, really good segment. 7 out of 10. Ali's back. Rhea Ripley was then backstage and said that she was done with the tag division before Liv Morgan attacked her. The brawl was broken up before we see KO arguing with the Alpha Academy. Rollins rolled up before he got KO in an argument last week. The Usos came in and said the duo they'd be better on the same damn page before the match. And then Amos challenged Lashley to a match at WrestleMania Backlash. Just going through all of the segments. I mean, like the whole heel stuff, it's kind of all the antics we come to expect from that little group. Ripley v Morgan will be a good match. Looking forward to that. And Rhea's single push. And then Omos, Bobby Lashley, I mean, exactly what we expected. But anyway, it was main event time. Rhodes, Ezekiel and RK Bro versus Rollins, KO and Usos. The brawl broke out in the ring before the bell was rung and the babyfaces managed to clear the ring. Back on Raw, Ezekiel was in the ring with Jimmy and Riddle tagging in early on. Randy Orton was the next in and helped Riddle hit a double team move before tagging Cody for some double team moves of their own. Rhodes got a big suplex and sent Jimmy outside before Jay came in and took control of the match. Owens got some cheek shots in on Rhodes before Rollins came in. Riddle tagged back in but was hit with an inverted Falcon Arrow. By Rollins. After a break, Jimmy was back in and cleared the apron to isolate Riddle when Rollins attacked Orton on the outside. Orton dropped Rollins, KO and Usos on the announce desk before dragging Jimmy back in for the draping DDT. Jay tried for the Frog Splash but was caught with the RKO by Randy Orton, who picked up the victory. And just once again, really putting Randy Orton over on this little anniversary, which is great. He deserves it. Really fun main event, and it went a really fun Raw. 7 out of 10. Overall this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. This was just a really brilliant Raw. I mean, from start to finish, there were some tiny little weak beats, 24/7 division, but on the whole it was just a strong Raw from start to finish, and I think undoubtedly it's probably the best Raw in some time. Really, really enjoyed it, and hopefully WWE can keep this up on a more consistent level. But anyway guys, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, remember to talk, comments down below, follow on Twitter, link description for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on screen now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.